So find the domain in interval notation as an inequality. So remember on these that I don't care about that -1 right there. All I care about is this square root business. In fact, I only care about the inside right there, right? So what this tells me is I need that 7 plus 10 times x. This has to be greater than or equal to 0. That is the domain right there. Once we get this as an inequality, we will make it an interval. First, principles of equality, right? So let's get rid of that 7 because we're solving for the x. That's going to zero that out, drop my 10x's. And yeah, addition and subtraction principles of equality will not change the inequality, but 0 minus 7 is -7. Now again, this is all in an effort to find the domain.
Why is it greater than?
So finishing the solution here for this one, I don't want 10x's, I'd really like 1x, so divide both sides by 10. And we divided both sides by a positive here. You're going to have to remember that because this is x is greater than or equal to -7 over 10. If I divided both sides by a negative here, I would have had to flip it. So the 7 being negative is not what will affect that inequality. It's just the coefficients, which we've seen. Now I said, like I've done before, I like to see a number line, which will then help me with the interval, right? So I know at -7/10, it says it could be equal to that, right? So you'd have a closed circle there. But this one's eating the x, so it would be a number line to the right. So my interval starting at -7/10, which is included, so it's a square bracket, and that line goes all the way to infinity, which is never included. But this, right at the end there, that is our interval for this one. But again, that's for the domain. Now, here's what the domain is also communicating to us, is that if you replace x with -7/10, you can find a value that works there. That would be real. If you did anything more than that as well, all the way to infinity, you would still get a value that works as a, and you could solve for this g of whatever your x is. But again, the number line is communicating the same thing. The moment you go immediately to the left of -7/10, such as -8/10, then you would get a not real value from the square root part of that.